This is ABC15 Mornings.
I would say good morning to you. Happy Friday, happy Valentine's Day, and happy birthday to Arizona.
Yes, it's been a great morning to help wake you up and get going on a long weekend for some of you who are celebrating President's Day weekend. We want to get you right over to our Iris Hermosillo, a beautiful start to this day, and you said it well, bragging rights weather.
Oh, absolutely. We are heading into a very nice weekend, and certainly we can compare it to what other folks are dealing with in the country and other parts of the country. We are the place to be. Now, we do have some high clouds out there, and you're going to notice those as you step outside. Those high clouds stretching down into southern Arizona, but don't worry, no rain with these clouds. And I can already see the back end of these clouds and the clearing behind them down over Baja California. So those clouds will drift through and then they'll quickly clear out. I think by midday we're back to sunny. So as you head out the door, we've got some clouds, but it's dry. Our temperature chilly at 49 degrees, but it's not as cold as it's been the last few mornings. By lunchtime, grab those sunglasses, 63 degrees. And today we're heading back into the 70s. It's going to be a pleasant afternoon. A few thin clouds in time for sunset, which should make for some beautiful views. But again, dry weather overall. And temperatures this weekend will be climbing even further. I'm going to take you through that weekend forecast in just a few minutes. Chelsea.
All right, thanks, Iris. Watching the roadways, and overall, it's Friday light, which is good to start your weekend. Let's go to the west side of town if my clicker wants to work. There we go. If you plan to travel in the westbound direction, you're good to go. Eastbound direction, you're going to run into your normal brakes as you're traveling eastbound approaching Loop 101 over through the stack and mini stack. If you travel between the 303 to the mini stack, it'll take you 30 minutes to do so. The rest of your commute up north looks fine with I-17, Loop 101, Carefree Highway, the 303. East Valley, all green flows right now, and your desert drive times have not changed in over 30 minutes. So hopefully it stays that way.
Thank you very much, Chelsea. This is a big talker today. Maybe you are already in on the conversation on our social media channels here. An unfair advantage because of physicality or not. A bill making its way through our state capitol to possibly ban transgender students from certain school sports teams. It's all according to the gender they identify as, not what they were born as.
Carla Navarrete live outside the state capitol this morning. So Carla, this bill certainly gaining a lot of attention. People on both sides of this really voicing their concerns about it.
Oh, definitely. There are definitely two sides to all of this. And as moms and dads out there, we know that the sports landscape can be very competitive these days among our kids. But we also know that it is important and that we teach them to be inclusive. But this morning, I can tell you there is no middle ground. People think that this is either a solution or flat out they think it's discrimination. Now, nearly 1,000 of you have posted on our Facebook page about this measure. It states that a person who was born as a boy but now identifies as a girl would not be allowed to play on the girls team. The measure is only for female athletics, and supporters argue that the bill isn't different from rules already in place such as age or weight restrictions. Opponents argue it takes away opportunities.
And at a time when all of this is going on and their heads and their hearts and their bodies and nothing matches, if the one thing they can do to make their body do the right thing is sport, just let them play, let them explore, and it helps them keep their bodies strong.
Now, this is House Bill 2706. It passed committee yesterday. It now goes on to the entire House. And Republican lawmakers believe that will pass through the House fairly quickly and then head on over to the Senate. Now, if this were to become a law, it would affect public, private schools, also community colleges and universities. A lot is at stake here, and we'll definitely be following this very closely and bring you any developments that happen. But again, this just passed the committee and is headed over to the House today. From our reporting at the state capitol, I'm Carla Navarrete, ABC 15 Arizona.
All right, and really interesting to hear both sides on this, Carla. Thank you for that. Boy, as the world monitors the coronavirus, Arizona health experts want you to stay focused on the flu. Here's why. New this morning, there has been a second flu-related pediatric death, and it comes from the latest report from the Arizona Department of Health Services. So far this flu season, there have been more than 20,000 cases reported in our state. Nearly 1,500 reported just last week, and the total number of flu cases is up 89% compared to last year.
The city of Tempe committing to police reform in the wake of 14-year-old Antonio Arce's death. The city council will hold a special community conversation to discuss reforming the police department and hear from people calling for change.
What I hope to accomplish is bringing the community to the table, having some transparent, real dialogue where we can see some substantial change in policies to make sure that we don't have another incident like this where a 14-year-old kid's life is lost.
The mayor also supporting the creation of a civilian oversight board. Other council members say they want the police department to review all of its policies and procedures. This action comes in the wake of the county attorney's decision not to file charges against Officer Joseph Hine for fatally shooting Arce last year.
It's almost 5 minutes past, and some possible hope for more healing for the family of a missing Marine, Jesse Conger. He was last seen in Scottsdale. That was back in August, leaving his wallet, his ID, his phone, and his service dog at his girlfriend's apartment before driving away. Now, his car was found last month on the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation. Tribal officials are now agreeing to start searching for Conger.
Hold your veterans close. It's your job just to check on them. Even if they say they're okay, if you know that they're not, push for it, just, hey, how you doing? What are you doing today? Don't say, oh, I'm here if you need me. Hey, say, let's go do something.
We so appreciate their message too. They're calling on Congress to pass something called a green alert law, which would be like an Amber Alert, but for missing veterans.
Yeah, a lot of talk about something like that as well. Promising news on the devastating bushfires in Australia. The fires in the state of New South Wales are now contained. The fires destroyed more than 3,000 homes and killed at least 33 people, including firefighter Paul Hudson from Buckeye, who died in a plane crash. This morning, we're hearing from another Valley firefighter who is back home from helping fight those flames in Australia. Andrew Harrington spent weeks dropping flame retardant onto the growing fires. He says from the moment he showed up for duty, people across the region expressed their gratitude.
They were very thankful for us to be there, but we were just as thankful to go over there and help.
Harrington tells us he did know Paul Hudson and the other firefighters killed in that plane crash last month. He says it's like losing a family member because of the tight-knit nature of this job. And we are so thankful to those first responders and, of course, the ones back here at home.
Well, yes, it is Valentine's Day, and it is also Arizona Statehood Day. So to celebrate, the State Capitol Museum is unveiling a new exhibit, Women's Suffrage Centennial, which marks the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment. Opening ceremony gets underway at 2.
That's right, giving women the right to vote, very important milestone in our country. Well, it's Valentine's Day, which means a lot of people will be spending money on flowers and everything,
chocolate,
you name it.
Yeah, all the goods. But the bouquet in this case can help a lot of high school kids who are learning how to manage a small business, starting legacies now. Our John Genovese live outside Metro Tech High School in Phoenix with details and some good deals. Good morning.
Yeah, guys, some really good deals out here, and the students have been getting ready for today since basically their first day of class. They run a small business, a flower shop, as part of their course, and behind me you can see they're actually setting up a drive-through today right off of Thomas Road. This is just west of 19th Avenue, and with 3,000 flowers on hand, they say they're ready for the love rush. From cutting stems to wrapping every arrangement just right.
I have a good feeling we'll sell out a lot.
Today's celebration of love will no doubt put this student-run flower shop to the test.
I have to make sure everything in the cooler looks good. It can't have a bad petal on it.
Enith Palafox is one of the 50 Metro Tech High School students taking part in the small business class. Every person has a role, from managing the books to marketing and design.
You get an inspiration of what you want to make. And of course, you have everything provided for you. The flowers, the filler, the greens, everything, even the tools that you need.
The main part of this class is to teach you customer service and business.
Plain colors, we're gonna pull them all out.
Jennifer Colvin gave up running her own floral business to teach this course.
This is their first major event where they had to use all of their skills that they've learned.
And all the money that's made goes right back into the program, growing each year.
I tell these kids on a daily basis, the skills that they learn in this class, they will call me later and say, Miss Colvin, you were right, you told me this. It's just like a parent,
And that's the hope, that those skills for life will blossom and bring every buyer back.
Have everyone come in, go out with a smile on their face and a happy customer.
And the students have all sorts of flowers available. The arrangements start at just $8. I'm told that both this drive-through and the on-campus shop will be open from 7 o'clock this morning through 5 p.m. So Nick and Kaylee, maybe get out here, pick up something for your baby boos.
I like the fact that there's a drive-through.
Yeah.
You move in, you move out, you move on.
And John, I don't have one, so by default you might have to be mine. So you might have some flowers on your desk, my friend.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
Get some chocolate while you're at it.
I don't even.
Metro Tech, they do such amazing things there for those students.
Yes,
yeah.
it's awesome. Okay, up next here on ABC 15 Mornings. You feeling the love too? Well, the list of expenses for a family, can be never ending. So still to come, how the cost of kids is affecting the housing market.
Do you remember that George Strait song? Check yes or no. It's a good one. Well, I tested out some romantic hacks, and instead of checking yes or no, I'm going to let you know if they're bull or no bull.
Back in 2013, ABC built an exact replica of Travis Alexander's bathroom and bedroom suite where the murder happened.
The prosecution's theory is that it begins here.
ABC News' chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, gave me the prosecution's version of what happened.
It appears that she's the one that's taken these photographs of him in the shower, and there's many poses of the water running down him.
So she's taking photos of him and asks for one final picture where he's looking directly into the camera.
Look straight into the camera, the final picture of him alive.
Yeah, we're hearing from Dan Abrams and Elizabeth Vargas tonight on ABC 15. 2020 gives us an in-depth look at the Jodi Arias murder case, including never-before-seen interview footage with Arias herself. Watch the primetime special at 8 o'clock tonight, right here on ABC 15 Arizona.
Right now, we are not seeing much Valentine's red on our maps, but that's a good thing for Friday light. We're looking at mostly green flows for the east side of town. Loop 202 South Mountain also looking really great if you're traveling from the west side to east side or vice versa. If you travel on US 60 and you're going in the westbound direction between the 202 over to I-10, it's going to take you around 20 minutes. Not too bad at all. West side of town, you'll start to see those breaks in the normal spots. Eastbound as you approach the stack, eastbound before you get to the 101. But still with that desert drive time between the 303 all the way through the mini stack, 29 minutes is what you're looking at to go 23 miles, which is pretty normal for this time of day. I-17, the 51, not seeing many breaks. I-17 in the southbound direction, you will see just a little bit of slowing at Glendale, and then also right before you get to the stack. If you travel southbound between the 101 through the stack around the Durango curve over to the split, it will take you 22 minutes to go 20 miles. So that's showing you how it's a calm morning, and hopefully it's going to stay that way. Is it going to be that way in the weather department too, Iris?
Absolutely, Chelsea. We are in for a gorgeous day, and it is a holiday weekend, so maybe you're heading out of town. I wanted to show you this wide view across the country because we do not have any severe weather in the forecast. There is a little bit of rain across the southeast from Georgia to Florida, tracking a little bit of snow too across the Pacific Northwest with another storm system moving in this weekend. And then across the upper Midwest, not seeing much snow, instead dealing with bitter cold temperatures. But if you are flying out of town, hopefully nothing to really slow you down weather-wise across the country. And certainly if you're traveling across our region, maybe you're heading out to California, Los Angeles, San Diego, up to Las Vegas, even across Utah or into New Mexico. We are looking at dry conditions today, and over the next few days we're going to stay dry. Now for the valley and southern Arizona, we are starting out the day with some more clouds this morning. You'll see them as you walk outside, but don't worry, we're not seeing any rain, not in the valley and nowhere across the state. And these high clouds are not going to stick around all day. I think by midday we'll actually see more of that sunshine with a few more clouds rolling in just in time to give us a nice sunset here this evening. Now, as you step outside, it is chilly, but not as cold as it's been the last few mornings. We're down into the low 40s in Casa Grande. Remember, the last few mornings we've been in the 30s there by this time. 49 in Phoenix at Sky Harbor. It's 37 in Payson. We are waking up to temperatures in the teens in Flagstaff. You're down to 16 degrees here at this hour. Across the Phoenix area, again, seeing those clouds across our skies with temperatures in the low 40s in Chandler. Mesa, you're actually holding on to 50 degrees. Glendale, you're at 46, and Goodyear, you're checking in at 44 degrees. Here's how your day shapes up. It's going to be a quicker warm up today. Yesterday, we reached that forecast high of 68 degrees. Today, we'll make it to 68 degrees by the early afternoon, and then we're going to climb into the 70s today with Phoenix topping out at 71 degrees. Temperatures then dropping back into the upper 60s by 6 p.m., but it's going to be a nice evening. And again, I think we're going to see a few more high clouds drifting in just in time to give us some pretty color in the sky as the sun is setting. So be on the lookout for that as you're out and about, maybe celebrating with with your sweetheart. Temperatures in the low 70s all across the valley, with the exception of Anthem, Cave Creek, and Carefree, where we're going to reach highs in the 60s today. Across the state, getting a little warmer out west, too. 72 for Bullhead City, 74 in Yuma, upper 50s in Sedona, and most spots in northern Arizona will make it into the 50s today. Now, this afternoon, we'll reach 71 in Phoenix, but the weekend gets warmer, up to 74 by Sunday and President's Day. I'm going to take you through those hour-by-hour planners in just a few minutes.
Okay, Iris, thank you. And thanks for the forecast, too. It's pretty nice. 6:17 now. The cost of childcare might keep parents from getting into the housing market. A new study from Freddie Mac is showing that childcare expenses jumped 49% over the past 25 years. At the same time, housing costs have gone up 14%. These researchers also finding families making less than $1,500 a month with kids under the age of 15 are spending about 40% of their income on child care. The group Childcare Aware of America is pushing for federal legislation now to limit those expenses to 7%, and they say more public funding would also help to ease these burdens.
At the individual level, parents can turn to child care resource and referral agencies. They're in every state, and they are there specifically to help parents, providers, and communities with child care.
So Childcare Aware does have resources on their website to help parents find affordable care where you live.
Well, it's Valentine's Day, and if you want to do something special for your special someone.
Our smart shopper jumping in to help here, Chelsea Davis, testing some do-it-yourself ideas using things you might already have right there at home.
Today we're testing out 3 hacks that are supposed to help you with romance. Have you ever wanted to set the mood but realized you forgot a candle? Well, if you have an orange, it might actually help you express your feelings.
You're supposed to cut an orange in half, then take the fruit out of the peel but leave the stem intact. Pour in olive oil, grab a lighter, and there should be a spark. Nothing at first. We tried again and again. We even tried lighting the stem that stuck out of the orange, and nothing.
Just like every relationship, every orange is different, and this half is actually better than that one because the pulp came out cleaner. Let's see if 4th time's a charm.
Nope. We waited 10 minutes for the fruit to soak in the oil, and that did the trick. It finally worked. Ignite that flame between you and your main squeeze. This hack is no bull.
Do you want to do something thoughtful for your significant other? Maybe leave them a nice message. Well, we're testing out a fun hack.
Grab a banana, take a tack, needle, or safety pin, make sure it's clean, then poke a message into the banana peel.
Wow, it starts browning instantly so you can see the message loud and clear. So you could even write, "I'm bananas for you," or "You drive me bananas." Either way.
This hack is no bull.
If this next hack works, it'll help you make a toast to your love.
If it's a pop-top bottle and you don't have an opener, this hack may help if it works. Take a can of soda and use the rim to pop open the top. It took us several minutes and a lot of force, but eventually it came off. So I have to say no bull, though I don't recommend it. There are much easier options out there. Weren't these hacks lovely? Well, for these ideas and more, go to abc15.com/smartshopper.
Ah, interesting. I know some dentists watching us won't like this, but I've seen people open them with their teeth.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
about
Use
that.
the boot. It
Use
works.
the boot. You can use the heel, your ring. You can use the table. I mean, lots of different ways. So that one wasn't very great. But also, I saw people folding up a dollar bill, and then once you have it in kind of like a little rectangle shape, you can pop it open. It didn't work, but we'll try it again, then we'll let you know if it changes.
All right. Well, thanks.
Love
for those
all
tips.
these.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Yes, you're welcome.
Well, we've got a live look here. This is the Dutch Bros at 32nd Street in Indian School, and they are celebrating Dutch Love Day.
They're donating $1 from every drink purchased to St. Mary's Food Bank to spread the love. This is at all locations here in Arizona.
Well, praise versus punishment. This is a discussion every parent and teacher have had, right? We've got the result of a new study looking at which is better.
Plus this, a disgruntled former employee. That's how authorities are describing a man who is accused of deliberately causing a crash with a Waymo vehicle.
Well, we are in for a gorgeous weekend, and it is definitely bragging season. Our temperature in Phoenix, 49 degrees. Chilly for us, right? But check out temperatures in other parts of the country. That Chicago skyline looks gorgeous, but I wouldn't want to be outside. That temperature, air temperature at 2 degrees below zero, with wind chills running about 10 to 15 degrees below zero. So we'll take our chilly weather in the 40s this morning. By this afternoon, heading back into the 70s too. We are going to see a few high clouds here this morning, but then those clouds thin out as the day goes on, and I think by lunchtime, clear skies. Now, if you've got plans to head out to dinner tonight, we'll reach that high of 71 in that 4 o'clock hour. By 6 p.m. down to 68. I think we'll see a few thin high clouds drift in just in time for sunset, so be on the lookout for what I think is going to be a pretty sunset tonight as you're celebrating Valentine's Day maybe. Then temperatures down into the low 60s by 8 p.m., 60 degrees by 9 o'clock, 50s after that. The weekend gets warmer, 72 and sunny on Saturday, 74 and mostly sunny on Sunday. President's Day looking pretty good too with a high of 74, and it looks like we are going to continue to hold on to those highs in the low 70s through much of next week.
Okay, Iris, thank you so much. More proof that positive reinforcement works. Just out this morning, some new research showing kids focus on tasks up to 30% more when teachers praise them for good behavior rather than reprimanding them for being disruptive. The study comes from BYU, and it takes a closer look at kids from kindergarten to 6th grade for 3 years. And it turns out the higher the amount of praise, the better the results.
Positive reinforcement there. Well, the sound of celebration for a 10-year-old who has been battling cancer for more than a year now. Braden Felix was diagnosed with neuroblastoma in 2018 after several rounds of chemotherapy and surgery to remove a tumor. We were there as Braden was officially declared cancer-free.
It's a very special day because it's been a hard, rough year, and it's no kid wants to go through this.
Absolutely not, and we're so proud of you, Braden. So what's next for him? He says he's looking forward to going on an African safari, which is coming up in May. He's doing awesome.
And
there.
so much to look forward to, right?
Good job.